Because really what people can see is above that surface. But what they can't see is the work that's been done. The root system is the know-how, the process, the humility, the way you guys handle more than anybody can see. One step at a time. Right? But the root system's in place. The root system's in place.
It's week number 17 of this National Football League season, and time for another edition of the Mike McCarthy Show, powered by Reliant Energy, here inside the Globe Life studios at the Star in Frisco. Bill Jones along with Cowboys head coach Mike McCarthy. It's the Cowboys and the Philadelphia Eagles. It's a noon kickoff Texas time on Sunday, and I know, Coach, you'll join me in wishing everybody a Merry Christmas throughout this week as the holidays continue on through the weekend. What's it been like for you around here, just working the players' schedule and the coaches' schedule to give them some time off with their family?
Well, we were actually able to be home with our families on Christmas. This is something I've always believed in. So the players are off Monday, and so we used that as a game plan day, staff-wise, and so we made Tuesday our Wednesday, and then so that everybody could be home for Christmas. Because let's be honest, that's where they should be. So. The players showed up Thursday with a lot of energy. It was awesome.
All right. Let's go back to the beginning of the week, and you get the gut punch on Sunday afternoon, 3 or 4 hours before kickoff, and it really, I thought, said a lot about the character of this team, the way they responded and played such an inspired effort in the win over Tampa Bay on Sunday night.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I just think that just the timing of it, and just. We really didn't change anything as far as the approach, and I thought the guys handled it very well. But at the end of the day, when the ball was kicked off, taking the ball offensively, trying to get up on the board, quickly, and that's really what we needed to do. But yeah, this team. You just see it throughout the year. I go back to the stretch of when we were losing with 5 in a row. The men in the locker room really didn't blink. So I think just like anything in life, you just stay after it and stay true to the commitment. It's going to come out on the other side. I believe that, and and there's definitely some intangibles that you need to push through these times, and I felt like our football team, took a step against the Buccaneers. And
you have a chance to win for the 5th time in the last 6 weeks. When you go into Philadelphia, you talk about the team still has a bounce in their step as they report back to work on Thursday and get geared up to play a really good Eagles team.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we're still fighting through our roster as far as injuries and certain things, because obviously coming back off of a Sunday night game. So, but yeah, definitely, it's a division game, outdoors. Looks like there's going to be some weather, so I think this is just going to be just a really fun contest to compete in. And let's not forget, it is the Eagles.
Yes, that's right. Let's talk about Cooper Rush. And over the last 5 weeks now, it's 1 interception, it's 9 touchdown passes. So he's taking care of the football and he's been productive. We saw in the first half, especially of that game against Tampa Bay, he was 18 out of 24 for nearly 250 yards in that game.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Cooper gives you the ability to just get it out of your whole menu, anytime you line up. So obviously we knew the run game was going to be a bit uphill going into the game, just the way they stacked the box, just the overload that they play defensively, and they stay true to form there. So that's why just early in the game I just was getting them into a rhythm, and with the 3-step game, and I thought he just did a great job handling the pressure. We had some looks there at the end of the game, some blitz audibles that Cooper did a really nice job of managing. We just didn't convert. So he does all the little stuff, and that's what you need.
All right, we're just getting started on this edition of the Mike McCarthy Show. Up next, it's David Moore of the Dallas Morning News.
The Mike McCarthy Show, powered by Reliant, was brought to you by Blockchain.com. Invest like your icons with Blockchain.com. Ford, your North Texas Ford dealers. Ford is the best in Texas. Bank of America, the official bank of the Dallas Cowboys. And by Miller Lite, the only beer of the Cowboys. This segment is brought to you by Blockchain.com. Invest like your icons with Blockchain.com.
The Mike McCarthy Show, powered by Reliant Energy, continues now. Bill Jones joined by David Moore of the Dallas Morning News, Sports Today, DFW.com. David, I trust you had a Merry Christmas this past.
Lovely time. Hope you did as well.
Very good. Yes, indeed. All right, let's talk about the quarterback situation with this team. As we go forward into this game against Philadelphia, as Cooper Rush gets the start, there's some talk out there, okay, why not give Trey Lance snaps? Where do you think they are in terms of that? Obviously, they're going with Cooper Rush, and they want to try to win this game.
Yeah, I know this is frustrating to fans. And look, we should probably start the conversation by saying no quarterbacks are under contract behind Dak Prescott going into next year. So I know there's a sense of, well, you're not playing for anything. You've seen what Cooper Rush can do. You need to see what Trey Lance can do. And I get that to a point, but, okay, Cooper Rush is 8-4 when he stepped in for Dak Prescott over the years. A very good record. But that's not a lot of games. And let's go back to, they're about to face Philadelphia for the second time. His first start was against Philadelphia this year. Look at the Cooper Rush you saw in that game compared to the Cooper Rush you see now going into Philadelphia on the rematch. A much better player, much more confident in what's going on out there. 12 games over a career is still not that much to play. So if Cooper Rush is your backup going into the future, you do want to give him time. That being said, you also want to assess whether Trey Lance is a player you want to continue to develop at quarterback. And ideally, you would like to see him get some game action. I would say probably the Washington game more so than the Philadelphia game. And I think that'll be a serious discussion going into the final game.
Hey, really, you look at Cooper Rush, and over the last 5 games, he's got 9 touchdown passes and just 1 interception.
Yeah.
He's played at a very high level.
Yeah, and he did not look good in the first Philadelphia game when he came in there. But yeah, over these last 3 to 4 games, he's playing at a very high level. And again, I think it goes back to, if you're a backup, you need to be aware not just your strengths are, but what your weaknesses are, and to avoid those. And I think that Cooper Rush has a very good idea of what he can and can't do as a player, and I think you're seeing it in how he manages these games.
And we all know how important the quarterback position is. It's underscored by this. If you look at the teams that are, if the season were to end today, these teams are in the playoffs. Every single one of them in the AFC and the NFC have their starting quarterbacks healthy.
Yeah, the only one who might not play this week is Jalen Hurts, but he's in concussion protocol, so it's not a long-term concern for them that he'll be ready. So you're exactly right, and this is one thing, we probably didn't talk about enough in the Cowboys' 12-5 run for 3 consecutive seasons. They had minimal injuries to key players in that stretch that took them out for a season or a half season. It's certainly all caught up with them this year, the law of averages on it, but that does determine the playoff seedings in the NFL every year, more so than fans care to admit, I think.
Right, and you look at Dak, the last time that he ended the season with an injury, the Cowboys didn't make the playoffs.
Last time they didn't make the playoffs.
That's exactly right. All right, David Moore, we appreciate it. Happy New Year to you. And up next here on the Mike McCarthy Show, Will McClay goes behind enemy lines, takes a look at some of the key players in the trenches for the Eagles.
This segment was brought to you by Blockchain.com. Invest like your icons with Blockchain.com. This segment is brought to you by WinStar World Casino and Resort. Proud to be the casino of the Dallas Cowboys. Please game responsibly.
It's supposed to be bad weather on Sunday.
Yeah, we'll see how it turns out. You just hope it's just a little bit of rain. Weather's weather. You've played in it your whole life. You're kind of used to it. It does change things, so we'll see.
What are the adjustments when you are in rain? And do you have much experience? I assume in the MAC, you played in some bad weather games before too.
Yeah, obviously being up there in the MAC and from Michigan, your whole life's kind of cold weather games and things like that. The rain is rain. I mean, it's different than those cold weather snow type games, and definitely affects everyone that touches the ball.
Do you wear a glove for it all? Have you ever worn a glove?
I've never worn one, no.
Listen to the buzz in the locker room. What does that say about the mindset of this team? I know you're out of it, but these guys are still upbeat, still feeling good. Just talk about that mindset.
Yeah, I think people feel I mean, obviously our goal is different, but I think people feel blessed to go out there and still get to play together, to go out there as a team and, you know, kind of show who you are. Like I said, there's a bunch of guys out there who want to show who they are on both sides of the ball, and that's what we're doing.
Remember, it was 6 weeks ago. They're relatively healthy defensively, Philly is. Do you put more weight into how they played you in that game and your offense, or do you put more weight into how they played teams last couple of weeks?
It's probably equal. I mean, a lot of it's been the same. They kind of are who they are, and they're playing great. The numbers support it. The tape supports it. You know, how they played us is very similar to how they've been playing. They kind of do what they do, and they're good at it. Super sound, and a deep group.
Cooper Rush and the Cowboys taking on the Philadelphia Eagles, and we've got Will McClay here to break down some of the guys in the trenches for the Eagles on offense. How about those two Pro Bowl type tackles? Lane Johnson on the right side out of Groveton, Texas. Jordan Mailata, a former Australian rugby player who is a 7th-round draft pick on the left side.
100%. And what these guys are, you hear about the run game. They're number one in the league running. Kellen Moore's calling plays. They rely on Saquon Barkley and these two guys. You look at Mailata here and then Lane Johnson. Both of them are over 6'6". They have over 35-inch arms, and they're athletes, smart athletes. So you'll see here, you'll see Lane Johnson kick out. They're going to run to this side. You're going to kick out, then you're going to see Mailata lead. And this is 6'7", 360-something pounds right there, giving an alley to Saquon and then him taking advantage of it.
A couple of reasons that Barkley is up over and getting close to 2,000 yards. Here's another example right here.
Yeah, we're going to take a look at Lane Johnson here, former quarterback. You know, former quarterbacks are soft, not this guy. We're going to take a look at him right here. He's going to block 4 players on. If one of mine can block 4 years, I got a chance to have a successful play.
There you go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Simple as that. All right. Another example here. Mailata doing his thing. Johnson on the other side doing his thing.
Yeah, these plays don't work. They're going to run the outside zone. You got to cut off the backside. You need an athletic tackle, and then you need somebody to expand the gap. And again, you'll see both of these guys using their athletic ability and their length to give Saquon a lane here. So here they go. They kick it out. There's the block out that you can drive a truck through it, and there goes Saquon Barkley.
Just a few examples why the Eagles have invested so much in those two tackles. All right, on defense, here's a guy they picked up this year in free agency who wasn't a full-time starter in New Orleans, but he's become a really good one here in Philadelphia.
He's in the right system here. Another former quarterback. He played quarterback in high school, comes out of defensive. He's an edge rusher. He can also play stacks. Look at the ways he can affect the game. All right, here he is as a stack linebacker. You have to read the triangle, then you have to be instinctive. There he is making a tackle for a loss there.
Zach Bond, number 53 here. He has 5 forced fumbles on the season, too, but doing it in a variety of ways.
All right, here he is stacked here. Now what they're going to do is add him to the pressure package. They're going to rush 4, but now they're going to drop and they're going to add him, and his ability to get to the quarterback on the edge and from stacked makes him formidable in the pass.
And as far as coverage, too?
Okay, here we go in coverage again. He's stacked, all right? The instincts to play coverage and then to find the football. He's got the back. He reads it. He reads the quarterback, and then around the football, a big part of their defense and their defensive success.
And, oh, by the way, he leads the entire NFL with 92 solo tackles on the season. Will McClay, we appreciate it. And the head coach rejoins us when the Mike McCarthy Show continues in just a moment.
This segment was brought to you by WinStar World Casino and Resort. Proud to be the casino of the Dallas Cowboys. Please game responsibly.
Welcome back to the Mike McCarthy Show, powered by Reliant Energy. As the coach rejoins us, we're getting you set for the Cowboys and Eagles, a noon kickoff on Sunday. Look at this Eagles offense and uncertain status for Jalen Hurts, who has been in concussion protocol throughout the week. And Kenny Pickett, of course, replaced him last week in their loss to Washington. How does that affect things as you prepare to go up against an Eagles team?
Well, I think the biggest thing is we play a lot of football against Jalen, so I feel like we have a good understanding of, how he plays and how they want to play with him. So I think this is just really, the time where we got to focus on the other guys, the other quarterbacks. So, and because I just have a feeling that's the way it's probably going to go. But their offense is, it really starts with the run game. Always has. Saquon's taking it to another level, clearly. That's the way we'll approach it.
It's pretty amazing the season that Saquon Barkley is putting together. He's on track for over 2,000 yards. What is it when you look at him this year that really stands out?
I think the biggest thing is just, watching him here over the last 5 years. He's healthy. He's back. He's back at full strength. He's such a natural football player, and he's obviously very comfortable in their scheme. Because he gives you all the runs. He gives you the receiver. He's a weapon out of the backfield. But what we all tend to forget is he can hit the home run. So, and he's been hitting a home run or two every game.
All right, let's talk takeaways, because it was an issue the first half of the season, but here the last 5 games, especially on defense, the takeaways. We saw it in that Tampa Bay game, the incredible interception by Jordan Lewis in the end zone, and then Deron Bland to end the game, picking the pocket of the Tampa Bay running back.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you could take those two takeaways will be on every teaching tape, and that we'll be using as coaches moving forward. Clearly, I mean, just the ability to just to keep playing, attacking the point of the ball, even when it's in the grasp, the offensive players. So just huge plays in the game. I mean, Jordan's and Deron's. I mean, they're both plays that change the outcome of that football game. So just a huge credit to those guys, and really huge credit to our defense and special teams. The way we've been taking the ball away the way we have been around here for the last couple of years. So we need to keep it up. We're going to need to do it at Philadelphia.
And how about the physical nature of things in that game? The hits that those Tampa Bay receivers were taking, whether it was Maris Leofau, whether it was Donovan Wilson, it was pretty amazing to see.
Yeah, definitely. Guys were flying around. I mean, the sideline was electric. And our defense played at a whole different level. And clearly to get that stop at the end of the game was the exclamation point.
And how about Leofau, a green dot, and Eric Hendricks? It was very late before they found out that he was going to be the guy, and came through with flying colors, didn't he?
Yeah, it's beautiful when you watch your younger players progress through the course of the year, and Maris is taking advantage of every opportunity he's been given, whether it's as an outside rusher, off the ball, special teams. He's done an excellent job there. So just really happy for him. I mean, to get in there and to run the defense with the green dot. He felt really good about the sub, and then the base came together. So it's been really cool to watch it all come together.
All right, we wrap up the Mike McCarthy Show in just a moment.
Closed captioning is brought to you by the Texas Lottery. Cowboys scratch tickets from the Texas Lottery are here. Play today.
Final couple of minutes here of the Mike McCarthy Show, powered by Reliant Energy. Time for the unsung star of the week. I'm going with number 41. That would be Nick Vigil. What a story, and what a game he played on Sunday night. Here's a guy. Now, he was a third-round draft pick of the Bengals back in 2016. Veteran guy in the league. Hasn't been practicing because he's got the foot injury that he's been dealing with basically going back to October. And the game that he played, it really shows you the value of having a guy like him on your team, right?
Definitely. I mean, Nick has been huge, big for us all year, but that was a huge game. And it was right on time, too. So just to have him out there, just a natural at the linebacker position, has played very well on teams, and frankly, just what a great play on the potential takeaway opportunity. Personally, I thought he had it, but yeah, he was all over the place. So instinctive, has a great nose for the ball, has a clear understanding of what they're trying to do. But what he does during the course of the week and to get ready to play on Sundays, it's pretty remarkable.
Yeah, and of course, going back to the Cincinnati game, he's the one that had the block punt at the end of the game. How about we talk about Maris Leofau, having a veteran guy like him alongside Leofau? How big was that?
Oh no, it means the world. I mean, yes, any young player to have a veteran like Nick there, and just in the heat of the battle, it's the little things, and the communication of the green dot is a lot of responsibility, and that's you're the quarterback of the defense, and Nick just does a great job for us.
All right. Good luck against those Eagles on Sunday. We appreciate all of you joining us here for the Mike McCarthy Show, and we will see you again next week when the Cowboys come back home to take on the Washington Commanders.
Happy New Year.
The Mike McCarthy Show, powered by Reliant, is brought to you by Blockchain.com. Invest like your icons with blockchain.com. Ford, your North Texas Ford dealers. Ford is the best in Texas. Bank of America, the official bank of the Dallas Cowboys. Miller Lite, the only beer of the Cowboys. And to watch more Dallas Cowboys content on your connected TV, download the Cowboys Now app on Amazon Fire, Roku, and Apple TV.